何かが気になればなるほど盲目なまでに夢中になってしまう。
Dear Forest Oversea, Xiaonan. The warm afternoon breeze rustles through the trees, and the forest is full of birdsong. In the forest not far from Oversea, clouds drift slowly across a vast open sky. It is a delightfully beautiful day. You and Artem follow the travel plan and arrive at a scenic spot locally famed as the deer forest to give their deer feeding experience a try. However, you have been feeling unwell on this trip, likely because you have not adjusted to being in a new place. This worries you, although it is fortunate that your symptoms have not worsened in the past few days. However, just as you and Artem are ready to begin feeding the deer, you suddenly feel much worse. Your abdomen aches and you feel wave of nausea. You instantly realize that your condition has become much worse. In the end, you could not avoid the most troublesome thing to experience while traveling.
どうかしたのか？
Huh? What?
いや、ぼーっとしているようだったから何を考えているのかと。
I was just trying to recall the feeding method we learned about just now. It seems a little different from the other methods found online. You try to suppress the nausea in your stomach and sounds as relaxed as possible. Otherwise, based on your previous experience, if Artem catches even the slightest hint of your feeling unwell, he will definitely become extremely concerned and then come with a strategy to make you get some rest. However, that will most likely ruin the vacation that you planned together. In particular, the most important event on the itinerary, the water splashing festival happening tomorrow, will likely be auto-skipped.
餌のやり方は一つとは限らないと思うから、いろいろな方法で試してみるとしようか。
Sounds good. Deer are usually quite docile, and the keeper provided us with more than enough feed. You seem to have successfully concealed your discomfort, as Artem does not press you on the matter and simply carries on the conversation. However, a vague feeling of anxiety lingers in your chest. The deer feeding session is going to take some time. I'd better excuse myself and take some medication first.
どうした？
I need to use the washroom. It's probably going to take a while, so why don't you go ahead and feed the deer first? I'll be back in no time.
近くで待っていようか。
No need. I'll be fine on my own.
わかった。では何かあれば電話してくれ。私は餌のやり方をいろいろと試しておくから、慌てずに行ってきなさい。
Okay. Artem watches you as you leave for the washroom, not looking away until you're out of his sight.
本当に大丈夫だろうか。
Just then, a deer that has been waiting for a long time lets out a grunt.
すぐに用意するから待っててくれ。
Artem opens the packaging and takes out some deer feed. He gestures to the deer, retracts his hand slightly, pauses for a moment, then finally reaches out again. When the feed is placed in front of the deer's mouth, the docile-looking deer turns its head away and rejects the food.
嫌なのか？それとも方法が良くなかったのか？
For a moment, Artem and the deer stare at each other in silence.
やっぱり他の方法を試そう。
Artem pulls out the deer feed once again, but his movements are stiff and hesitant. This time, the deer raises its gaze and takes a glance at Artem before it takes a step back. It lets out a loud snort, seemingly displeased.
もしかして問題なのは方法ではなく、私の方なのか?
There seems to be an invisible and impenetrable wall between Artem and the deer. You make your way into the forest, making a mental estimate of the time it took you to get to the bathroom and back. You seem to have taken more time than what would appear normal. How should I explain things to Artem later? The bitterness of the medication lingers in your throat. The discomfort in your stomach and abdomen seems to have eased a little. It's a good thing I brought along the pills left over from the last time I felt like this. I should be fine after taking them. I've heard people say that falling ill while on vacation is the scariest and most troublesome thing ever. And if you're not careful, it will end up disrupting all your travel plan. Well, I definitely know how it feels now. You start to feel indecisive over whether you should tell Artem that you're not feeling well. I think it's better to inform Artem. I don't want to worry him. Hold on. If I tell him what's going on, then he probably won't be able to take part in the water splashing festival tomorrow. But that's a big event that we've both been looking forward to ever since we started planning this trip. Artem expressed strong interest in it back then. It's rare for him to show such interest in things that don't involve work. Moreover, if Artem discovered that I'm feeling so awful that I have to take medication, it will probably mess up our plans for the next few days as well. We might even end up going back early. I better not to tell him yet. After making up your mind, you continue walking into the forest. Soon you are back at the place where you and Artem were about to start feeding deer. However, the scene before you makes you wonder if you might be so ill that you're hallucinating. Artem is having a standoff with the deer.
私が言うのもなんだが、君の行動は間違っていると思うんだ。
From your angle, it's clear that Artem is quite flustered. It seems like he's trying to calm down the disgruntled deer with his rational analysis of the situation.
確かに、君の態度や行動は動物界、あるいは鹿科の世界では通用するのかもしれないが、相手がどんな観光客かわからない現状においては、そのような攻撃的な態度を取るのは君にとっても。
Just then, the deer swings its head and takes a few steps forward, stomping a leaf into the soil. It's obviously not showing Artem any leniency. Its action carry an air of provocation, even danger. The scene before you is both amusing and a little worrying. You stare for a few seconds before regaining your composure as you hastily call out to Artem. Artem, stop, don't step back.
あ、戻ってきていたのか。
Despite not knowing the reason, he listens to your instruction and stops moving. Put away the bag of feed and tie it tight, and put your other hand behind you.
こうか。
Artem hurriedly placed the hand holding the deer feet behind him. Just like you expect, the deer stops making threatening motions. But in the next few seconds, the deer looks in your direction. You can see the impatience in its soulful eye. Overseas deer forest. Nearby, tourists are having a harmonious time with the rest of the deer. The air is filled with happy voices. You and Artem, however, are stuck in an awkward situation with a grumpy deer staring at the two of you. Fortunately, the deer decides to let you two off for now as it walks aside to socialize with a few of its friends nearby.
どうやら私は彼を怒らせてしまったようだ。
Did it frighten you just now?
ああ、だが突然のことすぎて、正直私にもよく状況が分かっていないんだ。
It's pretty rare to see such a deer behaving like that. It reminds me of a cranky child. But you don't have to worry. I've done my research. In general, deer seldom bite humans, and this deer appears to be quite intelligent. Somehow, I feel that it just wants to tease you.
確かに話が通じているような感じはあったな。だから私もコミュニケーションを取ろうと試みたんだが、結果は見ての通りだ。
Coincidentally, but the grumpy deer from earlier suddenly turns its head and walks away from the smaller deer back towards the two of you. Artem subconsciously hides his handful of animal feet behind him and places the other hand in front of you.
気をつけて。
It's fine, don't worry. Give me a bit of the feet. I'll give it a try.
わかった。だが用心してくれ。私もすぐ後ろにいよ
う。It will be fine. You take a small portion of the animal feed and step forward a little. The deer doesn't move. Instead, it blinks its bright eyes at you, seemingly waiting for your next move. At the same time, you sense Artem tense up and draw closer to you. If the deer was to attack you, you know that Artem would certainly rush in front of you without any hesitation to protect you. Be good now. I mean no harm. I just want to feed you something delicious. Do you want to try it? Surprisingly, the deer does not hesitate for long, nor does it become wary because of Artem. It walks directly towards you and quickly finishes off the feed in your hand.
まさか、こんなにも簡単に受け入れてもらえるとはな。やはり、問題は私だったか。
Maybe this has to do with the deer's unique personality. Some deer may be similar to the ones described in online guides. They are wary of humans and we have to take a step-by-step approach to interact with them. But some deer may act like the one before us. A simple, straightforward approach allows it to understand our intentions and accept us more easily.
なるほど。私という人間を嫌っているのではなく、餌のやり方や接し方に問題があったということか。
Absolutely. So, do you want to try feeding it again?
ああ、やってみよ
う。Artem pours the remaining feed into his palm, stretches out his arm, and looks at the deer that was displeased with him just now.
これで仲直りができるのなら、私は。
His eyes are as clear as the sky above and full of sincerity. His earnest attitude is far more convincing than mere words. The deer before him pauses for a few seconds before gradually lowering its head, drawing an arc in the air with its peculiar antlers. It sniffs the feed on Artem's hand and begins to eat it.
食べてくれたのか。
I guess it was all just a misunderstanding.
そうだな。様々な揚げ方を試すために、いろいろと手順を踏んで餌やりをしていたんだが、どうやらそれが彼の反感を買ってしまったようだ。まさか、こんな簡単な方法でよかったとはな。
The look of wonder on Artem's face makes you relax as well, and you smile. Perhaps it just prefers a simple approach, and that's why it accepted you.
ああ、空腹がゆえに水に流しただけというわけじゃないといいんだが。
Despite his self-deprecating tone, there is a warm smile on Artem's face. Just then, it seems as though the deer before Artem has been eating so enthusiastically that it has even caused the other deer nearby to come over. The herd marches over with both elegance and ease, coming towards Artem to seek more food. For a moment, Artem is taken aback as he is surrounded by deer. You see, I was right.
そうだな。だがこれはこれで慣れないというか、30分ほど前、つまり君が離れた後、ここの鹿たちは私から逃げるように遠ざかっていったんだ。特に怒っていたさっきの一匹は何を言っても聞いてくれなくてな。
Perhaps they finally realized something after observing your behavior.
事実？
This man looks like he just wants to feed us. Why don't we humor him?
なるほど。なら真っ先に食べてくれた彼には感謝しないといけないな。私という無礼な観光客を許してくれてありがとう。
Artem says this as the deer is about to finish eating. His deep voice is especially earnest.
それと先ほどの迷惑な行為にも謝罪する。困惑させてすまなかった。
The noise and chatter from the nearby tourists seems to have come to a pause. You wonder if it is because they rarely ever see someone treat a deer as an equal, like how Artem is doing. His attitude is both respectful and earnest. Just then, the deer bleats loudly, which is worth more than 1,000 words of appreciation. Ever see deer forest? After feeding the deer, you and Artem take a stroll in the forest. All of a sudden, a familiar profile appears before your eyes. The person waves excitedly upon seeing you two. Is that Sitka, the B&B's boss? Why is she here? After you arrive at the Eversea district, you and Artem check in at a B&B run by Sitka and her family. Sitka is a cheerful and attentive lady. She has made preparation for many of the things you and Artem did not think of when planning for this trip. The two of you have quickly become familiar with her. Sitka, who has hurriedly run over to you, is trying to catch her breath as she looks closely at you and Artem. In that moment, you start feeling nervous. You sent a message to Sitka earlier, asking about medication for your situation. Could it be that Sitka has rushed here because of that?
二人とも大丈夫？
Us? You and Artem exchange a look in confusion. We're fine. What happened?
ならよかった。実はさっき私のところに連絡があってね、あなたの彼氏さんが鹿に襲われてるって動画まで送られてきたのよ。ちょうど向こうで飼育員の同僚と交代してたから、急いで様子を見に来たんです。
私が襲われた？
ええ、電話をくれた観光客の方がそう言ってましたよ。もちろん経験則からしてもきっと勘違いだとは思ってましたけど、一応念のため状況を確認しておこうかと。もし本当に危ない状態でしたらすぐに警備員さんを呼べるようにもしてきたので。
Don't worry, we're fine. It was a misunderstanding.
ええ、確かに個性的な鹿には遭遇しましたが、襲われたというほどのことではありません。
個性的な鹿ですか。とにかくお二人が無事でよかったです。
Right. Are you a staff member here as well, Miss Sitka?
ええ、 今はちょうど旅行シーズンだからいろいろと人手が足りてなくて。店の方は従業員に任せてるし、何より私も動物が好きだからこうして時折手伝ってるの。だから今は店長じゃなくてただの飼育員さんね。それで彼氏さんが言ってた個性的な鹿だけど、実はよく観光客から通報されてる子でね。ちょっと群れの様子を見てくるわ。はあ、おとなしい人に意地悪したり、何食わぬ顔で他の子の餌を横取りしたり、ほんと鹿の大王様みたい。
Sika sighs. She shakes her head and presses a hand to her brow. So it's a habitual offender.
ええ、手のかかる子よ。本当にあなたたちが無事でよかった。それじゃあ私はこれで失礼するわね。あ、そうだ。もらってたメールの件だけど、ちょっと移動中で確認しそびれちゃって。例の靴。
Ah! You hurriedly interrupt Sitka and change the subject. About that matter, it's fine, really.
用意？何か必要なものでもあったのか？時間にはまだ余裕があるし、今からでも買いに行こうか。
No, no need. It's nothing. We're taking part in the water splashing festival tomorrow, you know. I was just asking Sitka if there's anything in particular that we need to prepare, but come to think of it, it's probably not necessary. Man, why do I feel that I'm making things worse? I never expected Miss Sitka to bring this up all of a sudden. Miss Sitka, please play along with me. Miss Sitka nods, perhaps because she has heard your silent pleas or understood the look you give her.
ああ、そうね。確かにあれは必要ないかもね。でも準備が必要になる場合もあるかもしれないから、一応考えておいたのよね。
それはどんな準備なんですか？
この地域における水かけ祭りはとても重要な催し事ですから、もちろんいろいろな準備ですよ。
After which she takes a glance at her watch and waves at you and Artem before she leaves. You heave a sigh of relief, though there is a hidden meaning in Sitka's words. It's probably hard to guess at it without knowing the context. I know you're reminding me to take good care of my health, Miss Sitka. Don't worry, I brought my own medication. I'll be fine.
オーナーさん、どこか様子がおかしかったな。泊まる前に民宿の情報は調べておいたし、特に問題もないと思っていたが、もう少し調べておこうか。
You're reading too much into it. She's pretty helpful and friendly.
そうなのか？だが、用心するに越したことはない。
Okay, you're right. To be safe, we should be careful. Speaking of which, is it your first time feeding a deer today? It looked like you were quite unused to it.
ああ、初めてだ。一応、これまでも何度か触れ合う機会はあったが、私はどうも動物とのコミュニケーションが苦手なようだ。
Huh? Why do you say so? Artem considers your question for a while before slowly starting to explain.
実を言うと、私はかなり動物のことが好きでな。彼らは皆可愛らしく、知恵のある存在だと思っている。だからこそ、私は触れ合う前に、いつも万全の準備をしておくんだ。例えば、彼らに関する資料を調べたり、触れ合いに詳しい方々の文献を読んだりとかな。ただ、そういった下調べと、しかるべき手順を踏み、少しずつ彼らに歩み寄ってはいるんだが、理由はわからないが、結果はいつも予想と真逆になってしまうんだ。 今日の鹿との触れ合いでもそうだが、私は動物たちから拒絶されてしまうらしい。だから少しずつ、私も動物から距離を置くようになった。
You can vaguely sense a hint of regret in his careful explanation. At this instant, you realize that this may be a small problem that Artem has yet to overcome in his life. I got it. In fact, I had a similar feeling before, so I can understand how you feel.
似たような思い？
Yeah, it's like the higher the expectation you have for something, the more you want it to be perfect. Hence, you'll put in a lot of effort and adopt several methods to make things right, which in turn complicates the process. And the other party may not understand your hard work. But when faced with living animals who have a mind of their own, a simple and direct method allows them to be less wary of you and thus makes them accept you. So it's not true that animals dislike you. They just don't know that all the preparation and concerns you have are all because you let them and want to be liked by them. Just like that strong-headed deer. After you changed your approach, it accepted the food from you. I think it's not only understood that your attention, but also that you did not mean to take a complicated approach initially. It's just that you were being too serious that you neglected many simpler, more direct methods.
そうだな。確かに君の言う通りだ。
Of course, this method doesn't work with ferocious animals. Artem's lips curved in a small smile. He gazed at you thoughtfully.
どうやら理屈で分かっていても実践となるとまるで霧にでも入ったかのように周りが見えなくなってしまうようだな。
Maybe that's what it means by it's hard to see things when you're too close. But fortunately, you have me and I have you. We are always there to remind each other.
ああ、そうだな。それより、君はさっき。
What?
なんでもない。気にしないでくれ。
Artem turns around and you two continue the stroll side by side. Were Artem's words and expression a little odd just now? Overseas Specialty Restaurant. A warm breeze blows through a restaurant that sells specialty cuisine. The air conditioner in the restaurant appears to have stopped working for a long time, but none of the customers are complaining, seemingly used to the warm environment. You carelessly scan through the faces of the customers and somewhat envy them. At the same time, you are trying your best to endure the discomfort in your stomach. Only a strong and healthy body can adapt to the lifestyle of various places. Easier said than done. Just then, a waiter walks over and hands a pair of menus to you and Artem.
こちらが当店のメニューになります。星がついているのはご当地の名物料理ですよ。よかったらお客様もいかがですか？
私はどちらでもいいが、君は？
This is bad. Looks like my symptoms are worse than I originally thought. I better hurry back and take more medication, or maybe I should secretly ask Sitka if there's anything more fast-acting. You quickly make a decision. We didn't eat much in the morning. We should order some dishes first to ease the hunger.
わかった。なら食べたいものを選んでおいてくれ。
How about the recommended local specialties they mentioned? Let's just randomly pick some. I've got a good appetite today. You point to several 5-star recommended dishes on the menu. Just as you're about to order a fourth dish, Artem suddenly speaks up.
それでもいいと思うが、他のジャンルの料理も頼んでみないか？
Sure, did something catch your eye?
そういうわけではないが、
Artem watches you. For a moment, he seems to be at a loss for words. What's wrong with Artem?
この2つはどうだ？
Huh? The ingredients for these two dishes, aren't they just like the food in style list?
ご当地料理もいいが、旅に出てからかなり経っているだろ？少しだけいつも食べていた料理が恋しくなってな。もしおすすめされた料理が美味しかったら、次はこの手のものを頼もう。
Sure, I have no problem with that. Maybe because you're guilty of hiding the truth from Artem, his words make you feel that he probably knew something. No, I must have read too much into it. Somehow, your abdomen starts to hurt. You inconspicuously place your hand against it under the table. You watch the waiter serve up the dishes while sipping the lemon water Artem has poured for you.
では、ごゆっくりどうぞ。
ありがとうございます。早速食べてみてくれ。もし口に合うのであれば、どんどん食べるといい。
Okay. You pick up your chopstick and taste the dishes. You're surprised to find that the last two dishes Artem added sweet your teeth the most. Loss of appetite is a common symptom when struggling to adapt to a new location. I've also checked a few remedies that may help to ease these symptoms, one of which is eating the food that one is most familiar with. But Artem shouldn't know about this, right? It should just be a coincidence. You look at Artem. He is focused on eating, and his expression appears normal.
どうかしたのか？口に合わなかったのなら、もう。
No, I'm just shocked. These two dishes are pretty suited to my taste. So I was just wondering if one of the chefs has visited stylist before.
そうか。口に合ったならいいんだ。
He then lowers his head and continues his meals. At that split second, you wonder if your eyes have just played a trick on you. Somehow, there seems to be a look of concern in his eyes. In the end, you have only eaten the dishes placed in front of you, only trying a little of the local specialties. Your stomach feels a lot better after the meal. Eversea Cloudwave Street. After a discussion with Artem, you two decide to take a walk along the nearby street before heading back. Just when you're glad that your symptoms have finally improved, you feel a sudden sharp pain in your abdomen. You instinctively tighten your grip on Artem's hand.
どうした？どこか具合でも悪いのか？苦しいなら無理をせず、今からでも戻ろう。
Artem immediately raises his hand to flag down the cab. Somehow, you manage to gather your strength to stop Artem, believing that you can still tolerate the discomfort. Maybe we walked too fast after the meal, which caused me to get a stitch. I should be fine.
そうか。だが、やはり今日はもう戻ろう。実を言うと、私も少し歩き疲れていてな。明日の水かけ祭りに備えて、今日は早めに休むとしよ
う。Then let's call a cab to go back then. You feel slightly uneasy about how things have gone, so you ask Artem again. We're written to rest up today. Regardless of what happened, we will participate in tomorrow's water splashing festival, right?
There will not be any changes to the plan, right?
君は水かけ祭りを楽しみにしていたのか？
Yes, that's because we made a promise, and it's special and meaningful to celebrate the Water Splashing Festival here.
わかった。それについては考えているから安心してくれ。だから今日はもう戻ろう。
Okay. Artem hasn't given you a proper reply, but you can see an apparent answer in his eyes. You don't even want to think about whether he already knows what's going on with you. B&B Suite. After you two reach the B&B, Artem excuses himself, saying that he needs to get something and asks you to head back to the room first. And the moment you close the room door, you throw yourself onto the bed like a deflated ball. Now that you're alone in the room, you can finally remove the mask of disguise and be yourself. I must have looked terrible just now. Artem must have noticed something was off. Otherwise, why would he say that he was also tired and wanted to return to the B&B just when I also need to rest? And come to think of it, when we were eating earlier, he ordered 2 dishes that were similar to stylish local food, and even prompted me to eat more of those. No matter how I look at it, it does seem like he's inadvertently accommodate my needs. Just then, you hear a noise from the door. It should be Artem. You hurriedly sit up from the bed. While you're stubbornly thinking of an excuse to explain why you're acting odd today, you hear his voice.
慌てなくてもいい。今は私たちしかいないんだ。体調が優れないうちに無理をするな。ほら、ハニーウォーターを作ってきたから飲むといい。食事や環境が体に馴染まないときは、ハニーウォーターを飲んで症状を抑えるのが、この地での習わしらしい。現地の人が言うには、これには腸内環境を整える作用があるそうだ。今はまだ少し暑いから、薬を飲んで、時間を置いてから飲んでくれ。それから、これは症状に効くという薬だ。説明書にもある通り、副作用も少ないから、安心して飲むといい。
His words of concern are simple and direct, yet strong enough to melt away the mask of disguise you have been stubbornly holding on to till the last second. So, you knew. Miss Sitka broke her promise to me. I even messaged her and told her to keep it a secret. You grumble as you pick up the medicine and the hot mug of golden honey water.
実は今日、君が森から戻ってきた時から、うすうす気づいていたんだ。ただ、あまり確信が持てなくてな。
Artem slowly sits down beside you. He takes the medicine from your hands and pops out 2 small white tablets onto his palm for you. At the same time, he confesses to you his inner concern and worries. After saying that you've swallowed your medicine, he continues.
それ以降の様々な出来事を経て、ここの環境に体が合わずに体調を崩しているんだと理解できたんだ。ただ一つわからなかったのは、どうしてそのことを私に黙っていたのかということ。
Then, why didn't you ask me directly?
あの時はまだ状況を把握しきれていなかったから、私はひとまず君の考えや決定を尊重することにしたんだ。けど、今ならもうなんとなくわかる。君があの時、体調のことを黙っていたのは、水かけ祭りに参加したかったから。あるいは、旅の計画を崩したくなかったから、なのだろう？
Yes. Also, I don't want our trip to end early just because of me. I want to enjoy this trip with you as much as possible. That's why.
ああ、わかっている。 君の体調ももちろん心配だが、実を言うと、私も君と同じ考えだった。君と一緒にこの旅を満喫して、1分1秒でも長く楽しんでいたい。そんな風に、この日々を過ごしていたんだ。だから、一つだけ言わせてくれ。今回の体調不良は、君の意識でどうにかなったことではないし、当然、君のせいでもない。だから、これ以上一人で我慢しないでほしい。でないと、私は君以上に不安になって、いても立ってもいられなくなってしまう。
I'll try my best.
ありがとう。では、後でハニーウォーターも忘れずに飲んでおいてくれ。
Okay. With Artem by your side, the bitterness of the medication doesn't seem to linger for as long as before. You feel a warmth in your throat and your heart, and it greatly eases your discomfort. Artem finally breathed a sigh of relief and looks more relaxed.
なんというか、昼に話していたオカメ八目のことを思い出すな。どうやら君も自らの罠にかかってしまったらしい。
What trap?
何かが気になればなるほど盲目なまでに夢中になってしまう。その状況は霧となって自らの視界を塞ぐだけでなく、相手に真意を伝えることも困難になっていく。君が体調を隠そうとしていた理由が当時の私には理解できなかったようにな。
That seems to be the case indeed.
だが、そのことはさほど問題ではない。いつか君が言ったように、私たちがお互いに補い合っていればいいだけの話だからな。
But I was the one who rescued you from the fog this afternoon.
なら、以降は私の手をしっかり握っててくれ。霧でも罠でも、たとえそれが君によって仕掛けられたものだろうと、私が責任を持って連れ出してあげよ
う。Why does it sound like I'm the beast?
君がそう捉えるのであれば、私は喜んで釣られるとしよう。
Outside the window, birds continue circling the sky. The medicine slips and falls onto the bed, and the mug makes a soft sound as it knocks onto the side table. B&B Suites. Artem tidies up and switches off the lights in the exterior hall, turning on the bedside lamp instead. Huh, are we going to bed so early? It's just past 8 p.m.
最近の体調不良のせいで、どうせ夜もまともに眠れていないんだろ
？Now that you mention it, yeah, but it wasn't that bad. I just found it hard to fall asleep.
明日の水かけ祭りに万全な状態で参加するためにも、今日は早めに休みなさい。
Sounds like a plan. Artem covers you with a warm blanket, then leans back against the pillow next to you. You try to go to sleep, but to no avail. I still can't sleep. What should I do? Artem mulls over it. He then takes out his tablet and makes a suggestion.
それなら、私が録音しておいた風鈴の音でも聞いてみるか？意外と効果があるかもしれないぞ。
Huh? Wind chime? Could it be?
ああ、前に一緒に作ったあの風鈴だ。あの時、君はこれで私の不眠を解消してくれたからな。だから、端末にも録音しておいたんだ。眠れない時、いつでもこうして聞けるように。
Okay, let's give it a try.
これだ。ループ再生しておこう。
A faint tinkling sound gradually fills the room. You watch Artem's focused expression under the warm orange lights. His profile is especially handsome in this lighting, like a flawless statue that draws the admiration and awe of all who lays eyes upon it. The continuous sound of the wind chime makes you feel both cozy and nostalgic, as though the sweet memory of the past was just yesterday. Feels like
どうした？
his voice is soft and gentle, like a whisper. You unknowingly close your eyes as you murmur your reply. Days like this feels like we had many days like this for a long time, like we've been together like this for a long time. Artem quietly watches the girl lying beside him for a long, long time. Only when he is sure that she has fallen completely asleep that he gives voice to his own thoughts.
実を言うと、私もそんな気がするんだ。
Oversea Grace Plaza. The next day, Artem checks again and again to make sure that you are quite recovered after you wake up. For the sake of your health, he has also obtained some waterproof warming patches from his sidecar to prevent you from catching a cold after the water splashing event. After preparing all the necessary items, you and Artem travel to the square where the water splashing festival event is held. In this moment, the street and alleys are filled with bustling crowds and the joy of celebration is everywhere. But what's different from the usual celebration is that everyone has a water splashing tool in their hands. Look at the pots and buckets in their hands. We should have gotten ourselves some water guns.
なくても大丈夫だ。大事なのはあくまでも参加すること。そうだろ？
You're right. Look, people are starting to splash water at each other to celebrate the festival. Should we also... Before you finish your words, you splash a handful of water at Artem before he can prepare himself. Under the sunlight, the water droplets in the air sparkle like diamonds. Artem raises a hand to block the attack, but his smile is indulgent. May the water wash away your misfortune and bless you with peace.
はしゃぐのはいいが、冷たいからほどほどにな。
Hey, you should respond with words of blessing.
すまない。では、いかなる時も君が健康で、かつ元気でいられますように。
That's more like it.
それから、悩み事ができたらすぐに私に相談して、決して一人で抱え込まないようにな。
His eyes are full of joy, and every water droplet in his hair shines like a pearl. The people nearby are also beginning to bless the two of you with water. You notice that Artem is becoming rather worried about you.
もし具合が悪くなったら教えてくれ。人は多いが、必ず君を連れてすぐに脱出する。
Okay. I'm actually glad that we can participate in this event. I want to enjoy it to the fullest. It's a good thing I have you by my side, or I wouldn't have been able to enjoy this because of my condition.
それについては、私のためでもあるから気にするな。もし君の体調が悪ければ、私も祭りを楽しめないし、旅だって続けられていない。何せ、君が心から笑って楽しんでいなければ、この祭りも、今回の旅行も、私にとってさほど意味をなさなかっただろうからな。だから今朝、君が無理をしているわけではなく、心から笑っている姿を見て、私はようやく安心できたんだ。今回は確かに色々とあったが、そのおかげで 君のことをより深く知ることができた。だから、私はむしろ良かったと思っている。
I'm fine now, and with you meticulously taking care of me, I'm not as tough as a tiger.
ああ、わかった。だが、看病するのは当然のことだし、私が望んでやったことだ。
Then let's have some more fun before we go back. I don't want to fall sick again since I've just recovered. But if you really need to get out of here, it's so crowded, and there are elephants at the side. What should we do?
大丈夫だ。もし難しそうなら、直接象に交渉して、道を譲ってもらうよう頼んでみるさ。
Haha, sounds like you're getting used to dealing with animals not after yesterday's experience.
そうだな。象はとても賢い動物だから、鹿を相手にした時のように接すれば、きっと彼らにも同じように、ここから出たいという気持ちが伝わるだろう。
Haha, we should totally give it a try later.
大事にしたいと思えば思うほど、向き合い方に迷ってしまう。けれど、幸いにも私たちにはパートナーがいて、霧や罠にはまって迷ってしまったとしても、お互いに助け合い、乗り越えることができる。今回の旅で学んだそのことを、私は一生忘れないだろう。そして、そんな関係が今後も続いていくことを、私は祈っている。
If the water is truly a blessing, and the two hearts are genuine as one, then may every moment be as good as this, and let this moment be engraved in your heart.
すまない。薬局にいて、電話に出そびれた。休養かと思ってビデオ通話にしたが、どうした？何かあったのか？ん？声が聞きたくて電話しただけか？それは私も同じだ。とにかく無事でよかった。いや、そうじゃない。私は元気だ。薬局に寄ったのは君の薬を買うためだ。君のはもうすぐ使用期限が切れるだろう？それに他にも予備を買っておこうかと。私がいない時にもし君が体調を崩しても、常備薬があれば私も安心できる。礼はいらない。彼氏としてすべきことをしたまでだ。私か？心配いらない。常備薬なら家にある。薬を買うたびにその種類や使用期限を確認して整理している。君もそうしたいのなら、また今度君の分も確認しておこう。迷惑ではない。いいか？私は君の彼氏だ。この程度はもちろん、むしろもっと頼ってほしい。君さえよければ、一緒に整理してみよう。共同作業ができれば、私も楽しい。ああ、約束だ。一応、今日の分は預かっておく。いつか君に暇ができたら。今がいい？わかった。車なら20分で着くと思う。また後で。